what your perception is of the security situation in the Southeast. Of course, from former Assistant Director General of the DSS, this security is across the country, most parts of the country. But what are the peculiarities in the Southeast, and how should we begin to deal with them?
Okay. Thank you for having me. I've listened to my colleagues in the studio and then the Commissioner for Information, Anambra State. I want to say at the outset, I'm from Anambra State, and I've worked in all the states except Ebonyi State. In any case, I'm married from Ebonyi State. So I have links in all the 5 southeastern states. What I see playing out is a lot of criminality. The 5 states are not safe, so to speak, but they can be redeemed. And that's the area I want to look at. I've attended a number of Southeast Security Summits. There is political will by the governors of those states, but I don't think there's so much seriousness about security. If you attend such summits, people who have ideas to share on how to make the states safer are not listened to. You may spend 30 minutes on honorifics, introduce somebody, you have 25 PhD degrees. That's not what we are there for. Traditional dancer will come and dance, wasting time. The real issue of the day will not be discussed because time has eaten into it. So those ideas are not harnessed. Governors by themselves cannot solve that problem because they don't have all the wherewithal. The wherewithal reside in people who have the knowledge, who are in those states, and who have ideas elsewhere in Nigeria. Ideas govern a people. Ideas rule people. Get ideas, form a think tank, and listen to them on how to move forward. All of them are concerned, but there's no more seriousness. And they're working in silos. Working in silos. You know, what affects the eyes affects the nose. These states are contiguous. There's a lot of movement of criminality from Imo State to Anambra State, Anambra State to Imo State, Enugu State to Ebonyi State, as the case may be. So there's no harmony, no synergy among the governors of these states on how to deal with this issue. They're working in silos, and that is a no-no as far as I'm concerned. I was a member of the Anambra State Truth, Justice, and Peace Commission to look into the undercurrents of what brought about insecurity in the Southeast, in particular Anambra State. None of the other governors keyed into it. They thought it was an Anambra problem. But like I said, they are contiguous. What happens to one affects the other. As a matter of fact, what happens to Kogi State affects Anambra State, affects Enugu State, because they have borders. I was CP in Enugu State, I was CP in Kogi State. I know that of a truth. So let's look at the undercurrents. My colleague, the former director of DSS at DG, is Assistant DG. Very valid point about marginalization. We need to communicate with the people who are feeling bad, who are feeling sad. We need to talk to them and get their psyche. Bring them back from where they're going. Because when somebody is crying, or when somebody is beaten, you say you should not cry. Using kinetic approach, you are making a mistake. You are driving them deeper, deeper into resistance. And resistance is a form of self-defense. There are issues arising from the Civil War. Nigeria has not brought it to a closure. Nigeria has not been fair in not closing the issues arising from Civil War. Anytime it's brought up, we treat it with kid gloves, and it's affecting the nation. So we need to address it. There is also the degeneration to what I may call idolatry. A good number of young men are not believing in miracles and in charms that will make them invincible, impenetrable to weapons of offense. And that emboldens them, it gives them a delusion of grandeur to confront security agencies. They die by the day, we lose our people, we shed blood, the land is polluted, families keep mourning, keep hurting, and are looking for vengeance. We need to change, in addition, to non-kinetic approach. This jackboot policing is not helping us. Militarizing our democracy is not good for us. The more you bring soldiers, the more the boys get their own arms, because arms are manufactured in Anambra State and from Oka, and I know of a truth. So the more you bring soldiers, the more the boys get their own arms, because they believe in what they're fighting for. We need to desensitize them gradually. Desensitize them, remove them from that. So, issues of marginalization. When somebody is feeling hot, find out the areas where he's feeling hot, address those areas, pacify him. There is no offense. In fact, there is gain in saying sorry to somebody. If you say sorry to somebody, you heal the wound. People who are doing the war, some have not been mourned. We recommended that there should be a day of mourning in the southeast. That those who were killed during the war, needless war, should be mourned collectively. It will bring healing. It will bring closure. I'm talking about psychological issues to solve this problem. It's not about having a bagu which has been politicized, or this argument chamber which may be politicized, may be a weapon of offense against political enemies or political, opponents. So militarizing doesn't solve that problem. We need to talk, gentlemen and ladies.